All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're tuning into this video, just make sure that it is good. My name is Game Boy Rob, and today I wanted to talk a little bit today about a tournament I recently attended, a smaller tournament that I recently attended, called the RCO Seasonal. This has nothing to do with Legends of Runeterra Riot Games, right? This has nothing to do with Riot. This is not hosted by Riot. This is community held by a guy who goes by the name of Morpadorp. He put together this tournament and put it together for high-level players of Legends of Runeterra, and I was graciously invited to participate in this thing. It had about 26 people who showed up, and it was like 5 rounds in the open Swiss and then top cut, and spoiler alert, I made it to top cut. It was pretty fun. It was a pretty fun time. And it was a normal format that you might expect. Best of 3, same as the seasonal, right? You bring 3 decks, you ban one of your opponent's decks, and then the first person to get 2 wins, right? Standard stuff. And I had a couple absolutely sick games playing this format, and I think the big difference between playing in tournaments like this and playing just standard Runeterra on the ladder is the open deck list format. For those of you who don't know, when you play in the seasonal tournament and in most tournaments in Legends of Runeterra, you are required to submit your deck lists, all 3 of them, before any of your matches begin. And then you were not allowed to change any of your deck lists during the course of the tournament. And this is because over the course of the tournament, you and your opponent are allowed to look at each other's decks, look at the entire deck list, see every card in them, and during the game you can make choices based on those. And it seems like that wouldn't be too much of a huge deal, especially given that like most of the top meta decks are what you most often see in tournaments, and given that those decks are pretty well figured out and you are not going to be terribly surprised by most of what you see in there. For instance, Nasus Thresh. When you go up against a Nasus Thresh deck, you know that you're probably going to see like Cursed Keepers and Ravenous Butchers, and they're going to have 2 copies of Atrocity, and they're going to have a couple copies of Rite of Negation, and they're going to have some Black Spears, and they're going to have some Vile Feasts, right? None of that is surprising. However, there is still room for people to tech. You may be caught off by a wayward The Box. You may be caught off guard by a wayward copy of Withering Wail that you didn't expect. Maybe they're actually running 3 copies of Rite of Negation. Maybe they're running 1. Maybe they're running 0 copies of Rite of Negation, and you know, that's good information for you to have. And when you get to look at your opponent's deck list and see, oh, wait a minute, this Nasus Thresh player, he's actually only running 1 copy of Rite of Negation, and he's got 2 boxes. That's me. That's my deck. My deck has 1 copy of Rite of Negation and 2 boxes, and that can really affect your decisions and what you play and in what order and all that stuff. So I guess the point I am making in this video is that if you ever get an opportunity to play in a tournament, any sort of tournament, but especially in a best of 3 open deck list format, I highly recommend it. It really allows you to make some absolutely sick reads, some absolutely crazy plays. And I made a couple crazy plays in this tournament the other day, and I thought I would share them with you guys. Particularly in regards to Atrocity. I like using Atrocity in really weird and interesting ways, and not just pointing it at my opponent's face. I like using Atrocity and not just pointing it at my biggest unit and pointing it at my opponent's face. I like using it in interesting ways, and no spoilers, but I think you guys are going to enjoy one of the upcoming games as well. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy. I believe both the games that I'm gonna show you guys today are Nasus Thresh games. I enjoy the deck Nasus Thresh. I know a lot of you guys are really tired of seeing it. You're really tired of playing against it. I really enjoy the deck. I think it's really fun. I love the way it plays. I love the mind games you can play with your opponent with it. And yeah, so I thought I'd highlight some of my Nasus Thresh games on this channel for you guys. And yeah, with all that said, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get off the screen and put past me on the screen. These games are taken directly from my Twitch channel, and I hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next time. All right, we're next up. Yeah, they banned my boys, I think. Let me go make sure. Yeah, they banned my boys. Okay, which means Nasus Thresh. Means Nasus Thresh is the play. I'm really good at this deck. Nasus Thresh is not my main. My main is the boys, but Nasus Thresh is probably my secondary. Holy crap, do we keep all this? I'm not sure we keep Nasus in this matchup. It's gonna be really hard. I don't think we keep Nasus without any sort of actual Slay cards in our hand. It's gonna be hard to get him big enough to matter. Our opponent is not running Riposte, thankfully, but they are running Sharp Sight. They're running 2 Deny. Dunekeeper also is not exactly fantastic. Ah, there we are. Kind of wish this was a Ravenous Butcher, but I'm only running one of those. As a general rule, I prefer the Wings in the Wave to Ravenous Butcher, but there are certainly times and turns where it's the other way around, and this is one of those. I mean, I passed, buddy. Just take your attack. There's no reason to pass back. You just attack me.
Fine and wisp. Steady my hand.
Vine and Wisp, steady my hand. Bright Steel Protector is a little Monka for me.
See what we see, soldier.
I've got your back.
I've got your back.
Nature blesses her followers.
Strength and grace.
Beauty in the blade. Beauty in the blade. I'm gonna take 6 damage here. Oh, I'm about to take 6 damage.
Oh yes, she does love
Oh yes, I am. 6 damage coming for this guy.
Who would trespass here?
Who would trespass here?
What is darkness to the unseen?
What is darkness to the unseen? Death is the wind that ratchets the seas. I really wish that had been a blighted caretaker. A blighted caretaker here instead of this merciless hunter would be just be incredible here. But beggars cannot be choosers. Unfortunately, beggars cannot be choosers.
We
The only combat tricks they really have in this deck,
You're covered. Nature blesses her followers.
the only true combat tricks, I guess I should say, are Sharp Sight and Spirit's Refuge. I mean, obviously they have single combat and stuff, but that's not like a true, that's not a combat trick, that's more like removal, right? So they're only real burst speed answers to combat happening are Sharp Sight and Spirit's Refuge. And they've only got 2 Spirit's Refuge and 3 Sharp Sight, so that's 5 cards.
I walk the space between.
There's a total of 5 combat tricks in the deck.
What delightful agony we shall inflict.
What delightful agony we shall inflict.
So I go. Run them through. Hardly fair.
Protect and strike.
Protectance. You're not gonna level my Thresh up for me. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just level a guy's Thresh for him, would you? Surely you wouldn't just gift me a leveled up Thresh. I would appreciate it if you did, though. Don't be shy. I mean, if you want, don't let me deter you.
Breathe your last.
Breathe your last.
Remember life well.
This plays around We're doing this mostly just because this is the way that plays around Sharp Sight. The best. This levels Thresh up to 4 out of 6. See.
Death is everything.
Okay. I suppose that's fair. They are running 2 copies of Concerted Strike as well. Count them, 2 copies of Concerted Strike.
We'll get our licks in. As it must be.
As it must be. That didn't feel good. Uh-oh.
I walk through the ages.
They're running 2 denies, 3 golden ages. They have 3 copies of golden ages in their deck. So apparently they enjoy rallying,
I find them
which is actually something I need to watch out for here.
Honor guide me.
It must be done. You call this a fight?
You call this a fight?
The cycle halts
Halts
for no one.
The cycle halts for no one.
Aha!
Got another Sharp Sight here. My opponent needs something to... He needs literally Sharp Sight. He needs literally second Sharp Sight. Nothing else will kill Nasus here. He doesn't pull anything. No pull at all, huh? That's fascinating.
I'm a fighter.
Thank you for the bonk, Bambooper. Thank you, by the way, Bambooper, for that bonk earlier. Nice to know that you guys are watching out for my bots. Watching out for those pesky bots. I mean, we kind of have to be fine with that. We don't really have a lot of other plays. We kind of have to just be fine with that. As it had to be.
The Eye of Twilight.
One card left. One card left in my opponent's hand. Holy Thresh. Alright, I find a Thresh. What could be that last card? The only question we really have to ask here is, what is that last, what would he be saving? It could be Deny. It could be Golden Aegis.
The calm before the spring.
Before the screams. That's a pass right there. That is a pass right there. Okay. That there's a pass. There's so many things that could go so wrong. I need to bonk. I need to bonk, right?
Think carefully. There is no undoing.
There are so many things that could go wrong with this bonk. So many things. Concerted Strike. End of the game. Single combat, not good. Deny, also not good. Single combat's the worst, though. They could literally both be units. Okay, cool. Both the cards in my opponent's hand could literally be units, for all I know, right? They could have 0 spells. That is not an unlikely thing.
Any last words? Round, like our world on a hawk. There it is. Inevitability.
There it is. Inevitability.
Yes, you.
Shield up!
Understood.
Okay. So we know that card isn't Sharp Sight.
Never stop.
We know that card isn't single combat. We know that card isn't Concerted Strike. It's probably a unit. That last card that they have in their hand is likely either a unit or a Golden Aegis. We know it's not Deny. by the fact, because they weren't. Oh, okay. Oh no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay. I almost had a huge brain moment. I was having a huge brain moment, but my brain is actually not that big. Not as big as I was hoping.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys.
The land obeys. So Thresh is going to 4 with this Sand Soldier, regardless of what our opponent does. If our opponent attacks, Thresh levels. If our opponent doesn't attack, Nasus hits them.
I sense an imbalance. They are under my protection. Keep your distance.
Your spirit is hollow.
As it had to be.
That should be game.
Our sun rises.
The eternity we shall spend together.
I'd like to see it, friend. I'd like to see you weasel your way out of this one. Disconnecting won't save you, Mecha. Disconnecting will not save you.
We grow wiser with each victory.
Well, that's a 2-0. That's a 2-0, folks. That is a 2-0. All right, Deep. We're going up against Deep. Alright, we're gonna look at his deck. They run only 2 Jaw Hunters. I'm not sure how valuable File Feast actually is here. I guess we can keep it. I'm not sure how good it actually is. We'll keep it anyway. This is a decent hand.
Give me the stuff!
Stuff make happy. Yo, give me the stuff. Stuff make happy. Stuff make happy. What did he toss? He tossed a Sea Scarab. Okay, that's good. A tossed Sea Scarab right now is a good thing to see for me.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys.
Tosses a Jettison as well. That doesn't matter as much. Okay, he has one anyway. That's not ideal.
That is the wind
That wretches the seas.
as it must be.
What is darkness to the unseen?
Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here feeding the void, guys. Don't worry about it. The void is hungry and wants treats. We'll give him a good planet. We'll give him a little planet. What else has he got? Deadbloom Wanderer. He could have played that last round if he wanted to. Jaw Hunters. Beast Below.
All winds blow.
We're just gonna attack. We're just gonna attack here, I think. Maybe I should have led off with Vile Feast. Leading off with Vile Feast also could have been a good answer here. A good play.
Bad, you bad.
Yeah, that might have been better. Leading off with Vile Feast might have been better. I gotta concentrate. I gotta concentrate.
A duty fulfilled, a life undone.
Dang. I legitimately don't have anything right now. I legitimately have nothing right now. What'd he toss? Tosses a Jaw Hunters and a Shipwreck Hoarder. That sucks. That sucks. I was thinking about going for Atrocity there. I was literally thinking about Atrocitying my 3-1 onto his Sea Scarab, just because I have nothing else to do. I still don't think that was the play. That can't be the play. That can't ever be the play.
What delight
That can't ever be the play.
inflict.
You guys, I saw earlier some stuff in the chat about like no helpers, no helping. Don't worry, guys. I am not looking at the chat. My second monitor has his deck list pulled up. You guys can talk about whatever you want. I'm not looking at chat. I'm not gonna be cheating
See what we see, soldier.
inadvertently or otherwise. Fading memories, huh? Oh god, we're already deep with a jettison? He's already deep with a jettison? This card is broken! Yo, Sea Scarab is broken! Who designed that card? Who thought that card was gonna be okay? That card is busted! He's running 3 jettison. He's tossed 1 jettison, but he's running 3.
Right, Aura?
As it must be.
They will beg for death.
Always forward.
No place for men.
No place for it. I own you. Like a worm on a hook.
Take your time. Savor the moment.
This box will just kill the Devourer of the Depths. The question is whether that's good enough, whether that's a good enough box. I think we have to say that it's a good enough box. Okay, there goes the last jettison, not that we care. There goes the last jettison, not that we really care. The object of the game right now... The object of the game is very simple. It's to get enough slays to make Nasus 8 attack and then atrocity him into the Nexus. That's the game now. That is the whole game. Get Nasus to 8 or a Bakai Reaper. Alternatively, Bakai Reaper will also do in a pinch. The only card they have in regards to like removal is Devourer of the Depths and Bone Skewer. They've already played one Devourer. I think I saw one get tossed as well.
All will drown.
Nautilus is a problem. Nautilus is a big problem. A big boy problem. He's also just a big boy. Oh, okay, they're down one Bone Skewer too. They're also down one Bone Skewer. That's good. That's good information. They're down a Jaw Hunters, not that that matters. They might have that one Bone Skewer though. They might have one Bone Skewer in their hand. But they can't play it, so this is a guaranteed level up on Thresh here.
When I say
We do have to watch out for their one copy of Atrocity. I haven't seen their one copy of Atrocity get mulled or anything yet.
Remember life.
So we should probably be on the lookout for that. In addition to everything else that we have to do. I go.
forgetting is death to an immortal. They will beg Do you hear the call?
Do you hear the call?
A duty fulfilled, a life undone. You will serve. I am prepared.
One life is pretty Monka. One life doesn't feel very good. What if they were one less life? What if we had dealt somehow one singular more damage to our opponent? So if I go for Atrocity right now, if I just YOLO Atrocity at my opponent, there are only 2 cards my opponent could use to stop me from killing them. One card, Bone Skewer, would shuffle Nautilus back in their deck. Or put it on top, I guess. Second card, Atrocity, would kill Nautilus. Those are 2 cards that they might have. And they might not have. One Bone Skewer has been tossed. I haven't seen an Atrocity be tossed yet. I think I'm fine if I force my opponent to Atrocity their Nautilus. I don't want to play around the Bone Skewer. I think we go for it. I think we just YOLO. I think we literally YOLO Atrocity. They don't even have any healing. They have no healing either. They don't even run Vile Feast. My opponent's only options are to Bone Skewer. His only Bone Skewer in the deck, or Atrocity his own Nautilus. Which means he probably doesn't have a Bone Skewer in his hand. The fact that he went for the Atrocity and not the Bone Skewer means he probably does not have Bone Skewer.
There's nowhere to hide.
Blood and guts, golden glory.
Wow. So my opponent, wow. So opponent's gonna level up Maokai, right? Opponent's Maokai is gonna level up here, which means that all my Nasus are gonna be taken out of my deck. However, I am fortunate enough to actually have a Nasus in my hand. And so when Thresh attacks, my opponent is probably thinking that my Thresh is not going to pull anything if he kills if he levels up Maokai, but Thresh will still pull out of the hand. So it's actually not gonna matter. Plus we have Merciless Hunter here, so we should just have lethal.
Grow tall, grow strong.
Yeah, opponent's probably thinking like, oh no, there's no Nasus. My opponent's probably thinking, yes, there's no Nasus left in the deck.
We love it when they run.
But I actually am still going to get a free Nasus off of this Thresh, as if he hadn't leveled up Maokai, which is pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal for our opponent, yeah. That's pretty brutal.
Give them room to spread their
Give them room to spread their leaves.
Any last words? I owe you.
I owe you. Last card Nasus. Sorry, bud. Ooh. There's nothing in the game that can stop this. He used his one atrocity. He's only got one bone skewer. That's game. That's very much game.
The wheel never stops turning.
Yo, wheel never stops turning, guys. Wheel never stops turning.
We grow wiser with each victory.
Okay, now we get 2 shots. We get 2 shots with Marauders. This is what you came here for. I know this is what you guys are here for. You guys are here to see Marauders go to the finals in a tournament. Well, it's happening. Legion Marauders are my final deck. I got 2 chances